So what are the top Daoist Shen tonic herbs and how do they work? So these Shen herbs are so famed and so revered and have been for thousands of years and were staples in the herbal diets of Daoists and many people who just wish to become more stable in their mood and bring forth their virtuous nature and their joy for life. And they're different from the clinical usage of herbs to stabilize Shen when there's mental disturbances and things of the like, and insomnia, things that can be seen as a Shen disturbance or Shen deficiency. Whereas the tonic herbs, sometimes used clinically, but the way we use it is to bring forth a greater expression of our Shen long term. And so these Shen herbs were seen to be able to do that by being in the diet on rotation, and it can be used over decades to make sure that it shines brighter. And so the way they're working is through especially coming in and stabilizing in a nice, gentle, almost adaptogenic way, a way to bring us into harmony, and nourish the heart fire and the heart fire chi so that it can run smoothly, it can go through its transformation cycle of yin yang with ease. And then when that's happening, when we're in harmony through our organ systems, remember the heart's the emperor. And so it is what all the other organs are serving. And so when that heart fire chi is moving smoothly and the heart fire is able to do its dance with ease, then we see its spirit express, and its spirit is the Shen. And the Daoists and the ancients saw that spirit coming from that heart fire organ system as being so important that they said that's a treasure. That's one of the most important elements of the world, but of the human body. Those Shen herbs, and as I said, are stabilizing that energy, that fire, and then nourishing that fire so we can see that greater expression of Shen. What are the top herbs? Shen herbs. Reishi, absolute number one. Over 2,000 years ago, first materia medica ever, Shen Nongben Sao Jing, the number one herb above ginseng, reishi mushroom. It's reishi that's depicted in heaven. It's the number one Shen herb and number one tonic herb. And of course, it's a favorite. It's such a beautiful, heart-nourishing, all-over body tonic. Such a calming influence on the nervous system and the mind that really enables you to bring your spirit forth very beautifully and very pivotal for a lot of people on their human and spiritual journey. We have Albizia flower, and this beautiful Shen herb comes through and really does bring that gentle blossoming of our Shen. It comes from what's known as the tree of happiness, and it's such a beautiful, gentle herb for bringing us stabilizing to our mood and our potential for happiness further in our world, so that we don't always have to be happy, but it's nice to have the potential for happiness always there, sitting on the edge. Then we have asparagus root, and this is a favorite especially for meditators. And asparagus root can come in working on many areas in the body, and I didn't mention this, the Shen herbs are often working in conjunction with other organ systems to ensure directly that you're going to get a real smooth flow of that heart fire and therefore expression of our Shen. And asparagus root's definitely doing that, as well as working on the heart directly. And what we see with asparagus root, the way the Taoists saw it, was it enabled you to fly. And so in your meditations, in life, you can fly up and get more of a bird's eye view of life. And that was seen as being very useful. So you didn't get stuck in the story and minutiae of what's going on in your everyday life. Very beautiful herb. Then we have spirit Poria. So we know the medicinal mushroom Poria, but the spirit Poria is the sclerosum, and that part, as it's growing out of the pine, and it's kind of halfway through transforming that wood into mushroom, and we capture that part, that's known as the spirit Poria, and it has all the longevity benefits and the water metabolism benefits of the Poria mushroom itself. But then it has this capacity, this mushy capacity to come through and bring a bursting forth of our Shen in a very integrated way, because mushrooms are very integrating. Then we have pearl. Microground pearl is one of the number one Shen herbs favorite. Some of you know it from the beauty blend, and it's in the beauty blend to really make sure that we're bringing our Shen forth, because having strong Shen is a part of embodying beauty. And I've included in the Shen blend as well, because it brings this beautiful cooling to the liver, and the liver is the mother of the heart fire. And so as it's, just to make sure that we're cooling down the liver so that it is able to express its love for the heart and ensure that it's not enraged or too excited when we get to that, the qi being accumulated in that organ system. And it's a beautiful stabilizing herb, brings this nice, calm, cool. It's mineral, it's a pearl, it's heavy. Real, that expression of Shen, because sometimes we think Shen's all about like coming out of the body and, and expressing and like blowing out of our, out of our head and going into the spiritual realms. But this is a very grounding, then bringing out our most virtuous spiritual nature forth. Polygala is an incredible root, the will strengthener. And there's much I can say about this very interesting Shen herb. But what I want to say about it the most, as a will strengthener, it's used for when what's considered the fourth treasure, Jingqi, Shen, and Ji, will, which we've talked about before. You can go back and see that IGTV. That will is, of course, what allows us to overcome obstacles, ensure that have the will to not engage too much in excesses, so we distract ourselves from walking a more harmonious middle ground. But what that will strengthener does is it takes through what the Taoists call the psychic channel, penetrating vessel, it connects the kidneys, and the kidneys then are able to, through connection of the kidneys to the heart, are able to better manage and regulate the heart so that it's not flying off too much on fire. We can have that water cooling it down. That's helping us ground the Shen, making sure that the fire isn't too erratic, too minded, etc. And through that, we connect that sexual energy to our spiritual energy, and we can become a more integrated person. And we find the Shen become really potent at that time as we become a beautiful integrated person. There are many more Shen herbs. They are my favorite, and you're going to find those featured and brought into harmony along with others to bring further harmony and stability to the blend. You're going to find those in the Shen blend. And let me know down below if you've had any experiences with these Shen herbs, what you've experienced. Has it been like mood stabilizing, able to calm your mind so you can engage in the day with your more virtuous nature? Have you combined it with meditation, yogic practice, qigong, so on and so forth? Let me know below. Otherwise, if you've got any questions, hit us up as well.